Good evening, good late afternoon, depending on where you're from. Let's assemble in this week one playoff matchup for Marvel Rivals. This is an exciting time for the K12 Esports League, and I know our players are anxious and raring to get going. I'm Dustin Owens, the co host of the K12 Esports League, along with Robin Menegdeg, the commissioner. And we have two powerhouse teams tonight, Robbie. How we feeling about it?
Yeah, I mean, the whole playoffs here for Marvel Rivals is going to be powerhouses, powerhouse matchups. Cannot wait for it. And I mean, our whole playoffs is usually bakes down that way, right? And shakes out that way. So tonight we are looking at the CAVA varsity Marvel Rivals team going up against the K12 PEA Wolves varsity team. Cannot wait to see this one. These teams ended up being our number 2 and 3 seed out of the regular season. They did play each other in the regular season as well. So correct me if I'm wrong here, but K12 PEA did win that head-to-head matchup. So uh, they today will be looking to repeat that. Kaba looking for some revenge. But a quick, disclaimer here. Obviously, we do not have Potato and Zay here today. It is Dustin and myself. The Loyola University of New Orleans players had a scheduled reschedule of one of their matches. So good luck to them in that match for sure. Hope they do come out on top in that one. For tonight, you are with Dustin and myself. With that being said, I do want to give a quick shout out of what our format for Marvel Rivals is looking at, not only for varsity, but for the open playoffs as well. Doing something a little bit different this time. Instead of a single elimination bracket, we are going with a four-team round robin. So all of our four teams that did qualify for playoffs will be spending the next 3 weeks, including today, um, battling each other. Everybody will fight everybody. So today we have Kaba versus K12 PEA. Off stream, we do have Lavka going up against Vava. And as I mentioned, like everybody will play against each other. So for Kava, as an example, this week is K12 PEA. I believe next week they play Vava, and the following week they do play Lavka. So at the end of the day, everyone gets to play everyone of our top four, and as I mentioned, all of them are going to be bang outs, absolute just powerhouse matchups. So very excited for this playoffs. It's going to be an interesting thing to see who does actually come out on top here, Dustin. But I believe for the moment we are waiting for the picks and bans to get started. With that being said, again, the number 2 seed coming into this is K12 PEA. The number 3 seed Kava, Vava Bubble Buddies. That team were able to take the number 1 seed, and the Lavka Pelicans were our number 4 seed. It was a very, very tight race to qualify for playoffs, though. So I do want to shout out the rest of the varsity teams that did play all season long. It was a very, very, very tight race, as I mentioned. I believe Waba just barely missing the cut on that one. And so we will be excited to see them back next year for sure. But this round robin, it's going to be very, very fun. We're going to try and get as many matches on stream as possible, utilizing not only this Twitch stream, but next week the plan is to also utilize our YouTube stream as well. So gonna do our best to get everything on here as we possibly can. But I think those are all my opening thoughts here, Dustin. Do you have anything else before we do send it over to picks and bans?
It's funny that you mentioned these two teams in terms of like who they played and everything, because we actually saw these two just kind of as a recap in the fall. This was our
Hmm.
championship matchup. The way we did the format in the fall, very very close matchup. Kava being our fall champions, K12 PEA coming just barely in second place. So
Hmm.
this is gonna be, I like as Robbie mentioned, all these teams are very powerhouse teams for this season and have definitely earned the spot to be here. But this is definitely going to be a matchup of all matches with week one starting out. Lavka, thank you for streaming that other matchup for us as well. As Robbie mentioned, trying to get
Hmm.
some double coverage and everything there. But with that being said, we'll go ahead over to some of the gameplay as we have actually started doing some of those picks and bans already. First, starting out from the Kava side, Kava being in red, gonna have the group ban. We see Serpent from K12PEA hovering over that. So hopefully they have a secondary tank and everything like that in mind. We are going to see Iron Fist from K12 PEA. They're specifically targeting Jarson, but we know that Jarson is also well versed on some of these other heroes. I think Daredevil being one of his second bigger picks and everything. Winter Soldier and Mr. Fantastic both being locked. And then we have a Jeff ban, believe it or not. We haven't seen too many. I think we've seen like one or two Jeff bans throughout the season. But
Hmm.
definitely something to look out for. Luna Snow getting banned as well. Actually getting a lock on Gambit though, which is actually kind of huge because I feel like he's been banned in several different matches. A little bit of a nerf to some of his healing ability, but not so much to where he's not still a decent healer. We also have the lock coming in on Kava's side for Invisible Woman. And then we're just waiting on these last two bans, one from each side and everything. I know Little Smiley Face usually goes with that Luna Snow, not going to be able to go that route this go round. Seraphim able to get that Invisible Woman locked in though. And they're actually going to ban Wolverine as well. And then Moon Knight, huge ban actually, I think coming out from K12 PEA because Moon Knight, we've seen time and time again be a very big threat in some of these matchups and everything with the amount of damage they can do with their onks.
Yeah, I mean the picks and bans. These teams did their homework for sure. Scouting a huge thing in Marvel Rivals. As we have seen that boil out not only in the fall season but also the spring season. Want to call out the players we have for both teams. For K12 PEA, we got Zenotachi, Shamrock, Shui, Striker, Serpent, and Aiden Tube. And for Kava today, we have Jarson, Sergeant Squirt, I believe that is Head, Pico de Gio, Little Smiley Face, and Seraphim. With that, I'm definitely keeping my eyes on Jarson for Kava, as well as Sergeant Squirt, right? They're kind of their two damage dealers. On the K12 PEA side, though, Zenotachi and Shui really pull in quite a lot of damage as well. And not to take anything away from the healers or the tanks, but I mean, I'm a DPS player, so I'm a little biased there, right? Very interesting to see, though, a lot of mirror picks. A Doctor Strange on each side, and a Mr. Fantastic on each side as well. Interested to see the Venom on Serpent and how they do play with that one. But we are into this game. We do have Kava on offense this time around, and K12 PEA on defense. First team fight is through, no eliminations yet, obviously no ultimates either. It is just a straight bang out to start the map. Seraphim will get the first blood here today on to Shamrocks. And Sergeant Squirt on the Star-Lord. Getting to the back line, actually doing a lot of good damage, trying to single out this player here. Will be able to take down Striker. That was actually huge for Sergeant Squirt, Dustin.
Yeah, and like I see Shamrock's going down, then Shui going down, and then it just kind of ended up being a domino effect once Sergeant Squirt was able to take out some of that backline healing and everything, giving Kava a pretty big push for this first point. But we are going to see K12 PEA coming back in much full force anyway, trying to see if they can get back on point, but with this particular setup that they have, I don't know if they're going to be able to get back to the point in time. And Kava will capture that point. Next depression with his ultimate from the Kava side. We have Invisible Woman as well as Gambit ult coming out online for the K12 PEA squad. A lot of ults coming online from K12 PEA as well as Magneto from Kava. Kava currently down 3 though, about to possibly get the Magneto. Yes, the 4th goes down, but with their spawn just right there, it's not going to take them long to come back out and try to take control of this point.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you went to Sergeant Squirt. They have hit a huge flank here. Interested to see if it does pan out. They still do have no idea that Sergeant Squirt is here from Kava. But I do want to shout out very quickly Serpent from K12 PEA. Really helped them win that last team fight with their ultimate, getting 2 eliminations, and then that domino effect, as Dustin said earlier, does come through. But Sergeant Squirt on that flank did actually not convert too much. They are up 1 elimination here in this team fight. Make that 2. It's been basically a 1 to 3 for CAVA coming out on top on this one. So they have this point, or I'm sorry, this convoy halfway up to the second point here. Sergeant Squirt just being so annoying on this Star-Lord. My goodness. Very good control in the air and putting down a lot of damage.
Yeah, and honestly, backing K12 PEA up to their spawn point, K12 PEA having to use some of these ults in order to be able to push back. With the Punisher ult, though, and the continuing pressure is going to find an elimination there. Sergeant Squirt and Hex Depression currently down for the CAVA team. Jarson in trouble a little bit. His healer is doing everything they can, and actually is going to be able to pop ult and keep some space and everything in there. Sergeant Squirt also popping their ult. Could potentially get something, but with the Invisible Woman ult, Magneto, Pico from CAVA, able to take that Invisible Woman out, get that ult away, and their healers, they're down to just the one, and now just down to Serpent on this Venom, who's going to have to try to hold point on their own for a moment. And unfortunately is going to get taken out in the process.
Yeah, Serpent there trying to get out, unable to, got a little bit stuck there on that pillar. But I want to shout out CAVA here, as Shui with that Punisher ult really started that last fight off so well for K12 PEA, but CAVA able to turn it into their favor. I was not expecting that at all. And now onto the final point is CAVA, and unfortunately for K12 PEA, they have 3 ults on, CAVA has 3 ults online, K12 PEA only about to have 1, maybe 2 here very shortly, but CAVA is pushing this very, very quickly. They're about to hit that choke hole, that choke point that's very difficult to get through. So can K12 PEA hold off for 3 minutes and 30 seconds?
CAVA did have to use the Invisible Woman ult to try to stop the Gambit ult there, but with Sergeant Squirt having this ult online, getting a lot of damage onto the Venom, is going to find one onto their healer, but and then get taken out in the process by Zenitachi before Zenitachi is going down. But CAVA currently just a little overwhelming, putting this K12 PEA team back into their spawn. And I believe they're just a little over halfway to the point.
They're actually about to come in here.
Yeah, can't even see the convoy at this point because how far it's pushed up. Jarson and them getting those healers and everything out. Shamrock's going to try to hold for a minute, and unfortunately is going to get taken out. 2 ults coming up on
4 down
CAVA.
K12 PEA.
And I believe
this is gonna be game. Serpent surviving for so long does get stunned here, will get taken out. 3 players up for K12 PEA. Somehow CAVA has still not finished this quite yet. K12 PEA putting up a great fight here at the very, very last part of it. That will finish out at 2 minutes and 15 seconds. With Marvel Rivals, it's so quick, right? There's so much action always going on. I want to call out one moment that was really, really insane to me. Obviously, K12 PEA unable to stop CAVA there, but Zenitachi on that Punisher, able to stop Sergeant Squirt on the Star-Lord out of that ultimate with, I'm not sure what the ability is called on with your soldier, but able to pull him, pull Sergeant Squirt out of the ultimate, and then eventually the team does finish them off. That was just a really, really cool moment. But now looking at the stats here, Dustin, talk me through anything sticking out to you. I mean, number 1 for me, Jarson, 17,000 damage. That is nuts.
Yeah, Jarson obviously with a lot of poke damage there. Sergeant Squirt also kind of, getting that a nuisance in the back line and everything, making sure, and they're doing their job. They're trying to take out those healers initially. The tanks, though, I mean, you look at both sides, even if the spread's a little bit more on the CAVA end, you look at the damage output and the damage blocked alone. I mean, they're pretty comparable overall when it comes to their stats and everything. I think K12 PEA just going to have to get a good foothold to try to get this convoy moving, but they do have, we noticed a little bit of a switch up with Shui and Zenitachi doing this Namor and Hela team up. That can create a little bit of space, and with those extra squids can be a little annoying. Also providing some protection for the back line as Sergeant Squirt is going to be coming in and we see Sergeant Squirt going down very quickly, not just because of the damage done by the players, but also by those squids. Jarson on Deadpool going down, but both supports for K12 PA currently down at the moment.
Anyone willing to help?
CAVA doing a pretty good hold, even with the Jarson going down there for a little bit.
And I'd hate to call it out again, but Sergeant Squirt on this Star-Lord, so good and very annoying, right? Just going up to that top point, putting that poke damage in. K12 PA, 3 players down. 3 players will be coming out of spawn here. They actually started this one really, really hot. CAVA able to equalize pretty quickly. Interested to see how the Deadpool does work out for Jarson here on this one, as we now, of course, have CAVA on defense, K12 PEA on attack. And again, yeah, just interested to see how does this Deadpool play out for Jarson. I think this is the first Deadpool that I'm getting to cast over, so a very exciting moment for me for sure. But we will see Sergeant Squirt go down, Striker able to take them out. Striker's actually really good on this gambit. Invisible Woman ult does come out from 8-2, but the triple stun from CAVA will only delay the inevitable, as Xenotachi gets 2, Serpent gets 1, 4 players down for CAVA. It looks like Sergeant Squirt and Jarson did back up, so pushing this convoy further and further is K12 PEA. Taking a look at ultimates as the game does slow down here for just a moment. We got 2 online for K12 PEA, 3 online for CAVA, and that is all that we're going to have for a little bit, as we will see Seraphim pop their ult pretty quickly, and Sergeant Squirt pop theirs as well. Unfortunately for Sergeant, he would have liked to have been putting down damage the entire time, but does not matter, as K12 PEA will see 4 players drop. Jarson will drop for CAVA though. But that is a team fight win for sure for the CAVA squad.
Yeah, Sergeant Squirt having to wait just a second because of the counter Magneto ult, but was still able to get those 2 picks, and with the help of the rest of the team, able to secure that particular fight and everything. Coming in, though, with K12 PEA. K12 PEA has a minute and 19 seconds to get back control of the convoy to be able to push it to this first point, and they're really not that far away from that first point. So they have some good things going for them there as well. We do have Magneto online for CAVA, as well as Deadpool. We are going to see that ult pop finally. Namor, though, able to block that with their shield. Also, Namor ult online is going to be used, and Magneto Pico in trouble, but is going to be able to get caught up into the Invisible Woman ult, able to get fully healed. The only ult online now that we have is the Serpent.
Correct. And I'm interested to see if they do pop it here. It does not look like they're going to opt to, unless they get really, really low. And here it will come out. Will be able to take down Jarson on that one, but it was a huge start to the fight for K12 PEA. Unfortunately, have not been able to get to the first point here still. On this attacking side, 3 players stunned for K12 PEA will result in 8-2 and Shui dropping in this one. CAVA holding very strong. 5 seconds left for K12 PEA to get this convoy to that first point. We will see Sergeant Squirt also able to take down Xenotachi, make that Striker down as well, and 8-2 triple coming out from Sergeant Squirt, make that the quad. That will probably do it for us here in this game number 1. Sergeant Squirt doing what they do, ending the game off very, very strong there.
And I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure, I got to call this out a little bit. I'm pretty sure this is the second time that or actually, I think it's the 3rd time that we've seen on stream. It was twice in one of the games that Sergeant Squirt got like quad kills. So that, like, he knows exactly what he's doing for this Star-Lord and everything, knows how to use their abilities. Great usage of ult and everything like that as well. Obviously getting that MVP this go around, but I mean, overall, just looking at the stats across the board, I mean, K12 PEA, I got to give it to them. Like, they've done a lot of good things within this matchup. CAVA just having some, some different ults online at different points, and having that backline poke and everything, making I think a huge difference for them. I think Jarson started out on tank pool. It looks like they switched over to DPS pool at some point. Getting a little bit of a swap here and there, but kudos to Kava for taking this round one into this best of five series.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, nothing too surprising to me here from the stats. The biggest thing, as always, everybody, not only on Kava, but also on K12 PA, playing how they need to play, doing their roles correctly, and all those sorts of things, right? Xenotachi and Shui starting this round on Namor and Hela was. I was hoping to see a little bit more of those squids do a whole lot more damage, but it wasn't working out to the start. So I don't mind Shui's switch to Mr. Fantastic to end that one off at all. For 4K12 PEA, their team fighting is looking really good. I think they just need to secure a few more of those eliminations on the healers to start those out, and they'll be right back into this series here. But we will be back with game number 2 when that is ready. Before we go to break, Dustin, real quick, just want to shout out this is a best of 5 now that we are into playoffs. So first team to 3-game wins. Kava has 1 on the board. We could see 5 total, could just see 3. Selfishly, I'm hoping to see 5. But with that being said, we will be back with game number 2.
All right, and we are back with round 2 very quickly, coming on Shin Shibuya, which is one of the convergence maps that we got. And they've already started the bans and picks process. Obviously, coming out again, we do have a group ban and a Jeff ban from the Kava side, locking in them Mr. Fantastic for the Jarson. And on K12 PEA, we actually have a ban for Iron Fist, as well as Star Lord, which I definitely understand the reasoning for that. But we have a lock on Gambit again, and actually the Thing this time. And then coming out for Kava, we have the lock for Luna Snow, still banning the Wolverine. We're just waiting on this last ban from K12 PEA. Obviously, some of the same bans and only like 2 of the same picks so far, but it's very interesting. Now, this is definitely interesting to see here too, because if you don't play Rivals a whole lot, obviously Deadpool is a 3 role character. So even though they banned that DPS role, it does not ban them from getting the tank pool or the strategist Deadpool character. So in most cases, we would probably see the tank Deadpool. Obviously, DPS pool would do a little bit more damage, but tank pool, in my opinion, is probably a little bit stronger than either of those. I think he can provide a lot more depth within the game and stuff to do that, and still has a decent damage output. But again, just my opinion in general. For the most part, though, we're going to see a lot of familiar faces in terms of what heroes we're seeing.
30 seconds before you attack.
We will get to see
ready?
little smiley face on Luna Snow since they were able to lock that in. Sergeant Squirt, though, I'm very intrigued to see Psylocke, because I don't think I've seen a ton of Psylocke picks this season. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. I could be totally off in that, but definitely a poke character. Going to be going behind the scenes, which we're doing that to Star-Lord anyway, so I wouldn't expect anything less.
You have to stop them from securing the
Yeah,
mission area.
and if K12 PA did their homework, they actually are expecting the Psylocke to come out after the Star-Lord ban. It is Sergeant Squirt's like second most played character, at least from what I am remembering of when I was looking as well. But we are into this one. As a reminder, game 2 is Convergence. CAVA on attack once again. We'll have to cap the point first and then move the convoy 2 points to finish out their attacking round. But with that being said, no huge outcomes from these team fights quite yet. Teams are just trading back and forth as we do see Pico de Gio on the Magneto take down Shui, who got their Moon Knight. So I'm looking for a huge bounce back from Shui for this K12 PA team on this game number 2, being able to lock in that Moon Knight here. But looks like Jarson on this Mr. Fantastic, able to get 2, little smiley face able to get 1, Sergeant Squirt also able to get 1 player up for K12 PEA on this staggered team wipe here from CAVA. Shui able to take 1 down before they inevitably drop themselves. CAVA able to cap the point. Oh, I misspoke as the Doctor Strange portal does come out. K12 PA will have 1 more opportunity on this team fight to stop this point capture. However, Jarson with this Mr. Fantastic ult popping it right away, able to help their team get 2 down. Here's the thing, about to drop as well, will end up dropping. It is another team fight win for CAVA. Great shot. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you caught that from Zeno Tachi before, unfortunately, dropping as well. Another staggered team wipe here from CAVA onto the Wolves squad.
Yeah, and I noticed early on when K12 PEA was still on point, Aiden Tube trying to pop the Invisible Woman ult to keep the team alive, but Pico, I believe it was, took them out in the process, and I think it really hurt the idea of K12 being able to stay on point. But with that being said, CAVA currently coming up about halfway through. Hex Suppression coming out with his ult, and we actually have the Psylocke ult coming on the back end. Is not going to find anything right off though. Little smiley face coming in with their healing ult. Magneto actually able to get a pick onto Xenotachi. Way popping that Moon Knight ult, able to get at least the Magneto. That's going to definitely stop their push a little bit for the CAVA side. But the Jarson Hex Depression still currently online. Jarson actually going down in the process as I'm speaking there. So currently a Hex Depression. Who's only 1 on point. K12 PA currently has control over it. And it's going to have to back up just a little bit until the rest of his teammates are able to get there.
Oh man, great ult by Pico de Gio in tandem with little smiley face's ult, and Jarson really One thing I noticed about Jarson, and I low-key love about their gameplay, as soon as they get their Mr. Fantastic ult, they pop it right away, just creating opportunities for their team, and we will see Shui drop at the end of it as well. Another ultimate coming out from Little Smiley Face as well, getting those healings off. Here's the thing, popping there is able to get a triple stun onto the CAVA squad. Will it convert into a K12 PEA team fight? Win? Not looking like that will be the case, at least at the moment, as 2 players for K12 PA do drop. Another Moon Knight ult coming out from Shui, able to get Jarson down and quite a bit of damage onto the CAVA squad. However, it does not matter in this one, as we will see 4 players once again drop from K12 PA. CAVA kind of on fire today. Looking at the board, looking across the board here, as we will slow down for just a moment. 1 ultimate online for K12 PEA, 1 online for CAVA, and it will be popped right away. Sergeant Squirt able to get a double, and Jarson able to get a triple. Xenotachi, the last player up for K12 PEA, singled out now here by Sergeant Squirt. I think they're all just gonna slow it down here for the moment, and I was mistaken. They will go in and try and take down Xenotachi, but able to get healed up by their teammates coming out of spawn. Good on Xenotachi to stay alive there. We have a full 6v6 team fight. Ults are going to be pretty even across the board here in just a second. This is a huge team fight for K12 PA. They need to win this one, get some momentum back in their favor. 3 ults popped for CAVA. Answered back by 2 from K12 PEA. We have traded 1 player down a piece. Pico de Gio's ult will take down Xenotachi. Shamrock, though, coming out with the Doctor Strange ult, getting those heals off. And this is a very extended team fight here. Again, just trading back and forth. Players basically about 1 at a time. No definitive winner here quite yet on this one. Seraphim able to take down Aiden Tubin. Just to shout out real quick, our healers, not only do they heal, every now and then in the elimination feed, we will see them get a few, right? But here's the thing, with their ultimate, not going to pop it, as Sergeant Squirt will pop theirs and get a double off of that. We will see 2 more players drop for K12 PEA. This will most likely do it here for us in game number 2, as it is a staggered team wipe for CAVA onto this K12 PEA team. Sergeant Squirt on this Psylocke played very, very well this round.
Yeah, and I feel like there was at times that K12 PA actually had some really good stops. Obviously, they're early on with Winter Soldier being able to stop an ult. I saw them again stopping Hex Depression's ult from the CAVA side. And I think it's just an isolated fight where they kind of end up getting in a solo position. And as CAVA's team is continuing to advance, they get a little overwhelmed. And so K12 PEA, again, having some good elements in there, just has to get a good foothold against this CAVA team, who continues to push and push and push. Aiden Tube, though, we are going to see them come in on the Daredevil. Xenotachi, we saw at the very last minute switching from Winter Soldier over to the Psylocke. So I'm curious to see if that's going to make any difference this particular round as they come in on attack. We are going to see Tank Pull, or actually, okay, X Depression is switching from the Doctor Strange, allowing Pico to be on Strange. I think they do like a little bit of switching here and there. And actually, I am curious to see this. We're on a 3-minute delay, just as a heads up, but he's going to try to put a portal right here. I don't know if he's just doing it to stop, or if he's actually going to try to get some eliminations. Maybe he put the portal on the other side. Oh, and we're going to see Xenotachi and Shamrocks fall for that Doctor Strange portal, and is immediately going to go off. 2 kills to him immediately.
I can hear them getting closer.
Oh my goodness, what a way to start this second round of game number 2. Absolutely ridiculous. Huge play coming out of Pico de Gio. Will start this round off with all the momentum in CAVA's favor. However, K12 PA not happy with that one. They are coming out swinging as well. Unfortunately, the Psylocke 1v1, Xenotachi will lose that to Sergeant Squirt, but Aidentube on this Daredevil, who we have seen play this before, able to answer back and get the trade. Aidentube also able to get Pico de Geo before ultimately dropping to Jarson. Trades back and forth between these teams, going crazy right now. On the point is K12 PA, only one player left for CAVA. They are now making the progress on it. We did see Shui, I believe, get 2 or 3 in the elimination feed. So again, healers not only doing their job healing, but getting these poke damage kills as well. With that being said, one thing I really have not had time to touch on, but want to call out is the bans here coming from CAVA. They do know that, I'm sure with research and whatnot, K12 PA low-key love the Thing and Wolverine matchup, team up. So banning that Wolverine, and then K12 PA has a really good group player. So the bans for CAVA working very, very well for them here so far today. But back to the action here, as we do see K12 PA tap that first point very, very quickly. On the move now is the Convoy. 2 ults online here for CAVA were popped to an advantage of 2 players dropping for K12 PA. With that being said, CAVA kind of winning this extended team fight. A lot of staggered eliminations happening right now. K12 PA needs to regroup here, fight as a full team of 6, and try and isolate somebody. Get that team fight win with 3 ults online. Now is the time to do it. Xenotachi pops the Psylocke ult. It will convert into 3 for K12 PA. Make that 4 as Xenotachi does get a triple. Here's the thing, in the backline as well, has their ult, does not need to pop it. Another team fight win here for K12 PA on this attacking side. Again, I feel like they really did not like that Doctor Strange portal and are coming out swinging now.
Yeah, they definitely, you could even tell the time difference. Like, there's a lot more time on the clock for them to be able to get this. They're already halfway to the second point. And I tell you what, like I said, they've got some really good elements. Like the Shamrock's popped an ult just a little while ago. Pico currently popping their ult, is going to try to get the Thing, is not going to be able to do too much. Gets a little bit of damage, but not enough to take them out. Shui, though, going down for K12 PA, currently just down to the 1 healer. But CAVA, I mean, K12 PA is able to basically do a team wipe there. I think, yeah, they just got the Jarson down. That was the last one. And so I think they're going to cap this second point as Aidentube is currently on this Daredevil, kind of keeping them a little busy. Hex Depression, though, is going to try to come in with ult. Not going to find anything there. Sergeant Squirt coming out with that Moon Knight ult is going to find one. Get taken up by, here's the Thing, but quickly saved by his teammate there, little smiley face with that ult. Invisible Woman ult for K12 PA, able to keep their team alive and healthy as well. Push this the extra inch that they need. They really just have to get rid of the remaining CAVA players to be able to cap this second point, and that is going to do it for them. And they're going to be moving forward to this third point, which, like you said, I think they're out. I think they're out for blood at this point.
Absolutely. Absolutely out for blood. One crazy thing to me in that team fight, Aidentube had their ult on this Daredevil the entire time, did not pop it. I was thinking that was going to be detrimental to them at the end of the day, but they end up winning that team fight, so it's neither here nor there, right? Xenotachi with the Psylocke ult, Aidentube with the Daredevil ult, Striker popping the Gambit ult. They're going to pop all of their ults. Is K12 PA. It's going to convert into 2 eliminations. This should be another team fight win for them. Make that 4-5. Sergeant Squirt, last player up. So low. Full team wipe here for K12 PA, and I think that is 4 team fight wins back to back to back to back for K12 PA here in this second round of Convergence in this game number 2 of this best of 5 series. So we are going to see a bang out rest of this series. I do believe here Pico de Gio, the only player for CAVA with their ultimate online. I'd actually probably like to see them pop it here, and they will. Will it convert into a lot of damage? It will. Huge. Dropping that on 3 players. Shui does get taken down at the end of it. Jarson popping their ult as well. Will take down Aiden Tube. Seraphim able to take down. Here's the thing. Xenotachi, however, answering back. The Psylocke 1v1 between Xenotachi and Sergeant Squirt. Xenotachi has been coming out on top for this side, really, as we do see Sergeant Squirt switch over to the Winter Soldier. I'm not sure if that just happened or if it happened a little bit ago, but K12 PEA, again, with the momentum kind of on their side, it was a very close team fight. CAVA barely squeaks out the advantage there. Little smiley face with the ultimate coming out. A lot of healing for the CAVA team at this point in time. We will see a triple, like, half-second stun come out from CAVA onto the K12 PEA squad. But again, Xenotachi singling out Sergeant Squirt this entire second round, able to take them down. It is 2 players down per side. Make that 3 for CAVA. Xenotachi now popping their Psylocke ult will be in the back line, not able to convert on a whole lot as they will get taken down. Seraphim on that invisible woman, able to solo them out and eventually take them down. K12 PEA now kind of with their back foot on the they're on the back foot now is K12 PEA. They need to convert into a team fight win here to have any chance to continue pushing this. That is a good start. 5-person stun onto the CAVA squad will convert into 4 eliminations. Make that 5 with Gio so low. They will drop Jarson, last player up. Has their ult though, and again, instant pops from Jarson. Good damage coming out. They are just trying to they use that to stay alive there, right? Still alive though, as their team is back into this one here. Again, K12 PEA, only 25 seconds left on the clock. Will need to have a nice team wipe, continue pushing this convoy up to that final point. But with that being said, what an insane round 2 we've seen so far, Dustin.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it's just been back to back to back. CAVA, though, currently going down, actually, with the team wipe. That CAVA might be able to get back out on point, but it's going to be really, really close.
I'm waiting to see how this actually does end out, because I think that CAVA still takes the win because they finished it with with time on the clock. But we'll just have to see as CAVA gets one more opportunity to stop this. We are into the final team fight here of this game number 2, and once again K12 PEA coming out on top in this one. Again, I think that we may be seeing a we're gonna see an overtime, aren't we, Dustin?
Yeah, the way this one works, you would think it would be based off of time, but again, each team's gonna have a chance to be on attack and basically push this convoy, or this convoy as far as they can, with the given time that they have, and the other team will just have to try to outdo them. But that was a huge gameplay difference than in round 1. I think the map makes a difference. I think the character selection makes a huge difference as well. One thing I started seeing, I didn't see it as much in the first half, but I saw it a lot more in the second half coming out of K12 PEA, is the ult usage. Obviously, like, it's instinct to try to want to pop it as soon as possible, but I tell you what, if you can wait just 1 extra second and try to outlast some of the ults from the other side, and then partnering those combos like a Doctor Strange ult with that Psylocke ult, for instance, can be huge, because obviously they're immobile. You're getting a lot of damage. All your teammates are going to be going for them at one time. But we started seeing that definitely more after the second point from K12 PEA, and that's one thing that I really like to see, is when ults are combined, not just utilize one off at a time, because then if it's staggered, you know, sometimes you can get traction, but not as much as you would be able to if you actually utilized it in conjunction with your other teammates.
Yeah, and real quick, as I'm just learning for myself, watching my first overtime in conversions, CAVA with a huge advantage going into this overtime. They have 2 minutes and 57 seconds on the clock. K12 PA only starts with 1 minute, but does not matter. It looks like as 3 make that 4 players will go down so quickly for CAVA. K12 PEA has really come into their own. Maybe that first game was a warm-up for them. I'm not really sure, but they are playing out of their minds right now. Back onto the point though is CAVA, another full 6v6 team fight coming out. Shui will drop, little smiley face, able to get them down. So will Xenotachi, and here's the thing, as the CAVA squad basically, as if they get 8 and 2 down, does do a staggered team wipe here.
Holy cow.
And I believe that will do it for this overtime round. Oh my goodness.
And for those of you watching, being able to see that pretty much all 3 of those bars were almost completely filled. Capture 97 point. They were literally less than 3% away from getting that point. CAVA being able to come in, Sergeant Squirt solo at first, just contesting the point and then getting the rest of his team back was huge for that CAVA stop. CAVA obviously hoping to capitalize, and all they really have to do is cap point. All they have to do is get 98%, and they've reached that goal. But K12 PEA, I know, had a pretty good defense there in that very first round against them to stop the point initially, and with the given time frame, they have a good chance at being able to make this stop.
Yeah, I'm so intrigued to see this one play out. K12 PEA started their overtime offense off so hot, but CAVA able to get that team wipe basically almost like right back. Unfortunately for K12 PEA, I mean 97.33%. That is unreal to see. They were so close to capping that. And so CAVA probably feeling pretty good going into this one here. We will get started in 3, 2, 1. CAVA gotta get 98%, or basically like 97.34%, right? To win this overtime and win the game number 2. As a reminder, this is a best of 5 series. On to the team fight here. Jarson in the front line on this Mr. Fantastic, trying to put down as much damage as they can. Good start here from CAVA as Xenotachi continues to drop below 50% HP, continues to get healed up by their teammates, so no eliminations thus far. And of course, as I say that, Xenotachi will drop, but will be revived right away by Shui, trading back and forth now, 1 player down for each team. Make that 2 for CAVA as Striker is able to take down Jarson. Pushed off of the point here is CAVA. They're going to need to regroup before they try and get back onto the point once again.
Now, one thing I will point out,
95%. Go ahead, Dustin.
No, you're fine. One thing I will point out, that each of these teams decided to go this triple strategist route just to be able to try to keep all their their healers alive, be able to take point if they can. Xenotachi is going to pop the Moon Knight ult. Unfortunately, is not going to find anything. We do have Rocket ult now online, though. Gonna give a little bit of an extra damage boost as well as that healing, but we are going to have the counter healing from Lil Smiley coming out from the CAVA team, able to keep them out. But Xenotachi getting that ult again so quickly, along with that damage, is going to be able to take out. Oh, no, Lil Smiley still on board at the moment. Possibly going to get taken. And Magneto Pico able to get Shui on the rocket. And currently just have Striker, Thing, Xenotachi, and Shamrock's on point.
Only 60 seconds left.
But Hex Depression coming in with their ult as well for the CAVA side. Obviously hoping to capitalize. Is going to get a team wipe, I believe. And K12 PEA currently doesn't have anybody on point. But I say that, and they are going to have Invisible Woman try to come in. It's going to get taken down very quickly, but it may have been just enough to be able to try to contest point. And it will be with, oh, but they stopped his ult mid-sentence. CAVA keeping the gas on the pedal on the gas. But K12 PEA with this portal actually able to continue holding point to some degree. Jarson is going to be able to get their ult, kind of stuck trying to get this rocket, and is actually going to be able to get them.
Wow, 4 in a row.
Currently, here's the thing, and Shamrock's on point, but I don't think they have any. Well, they do have Striker in the back trying to provide healing. Striker is going to go down very quickly.
A nice deep
And this is just a volley back and forth of the eliminations. CAVA, again, very close. 96%. Zenotachi to get, and not quite enough in
Final
time
score,
to be able to
3,
get the
2,
stop.
4.
But it was such a good defense coming from K12 PEA, even with the staggered gameplay having to come back to point. Kudos to them for trying to get the stop of CAVA being able to come out on top here in round 2. And that's going to send us to the domination round, where it's going to be match point for CAVA if they take it.
Oh my goodness, yes, match point, as I mentioned for, or as Dustin mentioned, for CAVA. They need one more game win, but man, how K12 PEA actually was able to survive in that overtime before CAVA did finally end up winning and getting that 98% was mind-blowing. Just continued to stack bodies on to that point, just to stop it as best as they could. Unfortunately, being so staggered in their team white, or I'm sorry, in teammates falling and things like that, and CAVA with the strong 6, it was inevitable that CAVA was going to be able to finish that one out and get the game win in that overtime that we did just see. But again, I'm going to harp on it one more time. Mind-blowing that it felt like a minute long. We had that overtime ticker going down, and K12 PA just able to survive for that long is a testament in itself. But looking at the stats here, Dustin, anything really catching your eye here, as that was just an amazing game to watch?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, kudos. Like you see, especially with this game, with both teams being able to take it to 3 points, having to go into overtime with as close as it was, like you see what transpires with damage output, the damage blocked, the healing. I mean, some huge numbers coming out from tanks, huge numbers coming out from strategists, some big numbers coming out from, those DPS players and everything. I mean, realistically, like, this is a relatively even spread. Obviously, kudos to Jarson. 62-11 is definitely no feat. Getting a quad kill and everything, showing that Mr. Fantastic's survivability as a DPS tank kind of duo is definitely huge. But even the thing, and Shamrocks, and you got to hand it to them for continuing to push that point and everything. And then with the triple support, that's been a huge thing, a huge meta. We see a lot of obviously healing coming out of Smiley Face and Seraphim. Hex Depression switching over to that third strategist there at the end, obviously being on tank and everything like that before. Again, Shui having some of that DPS damage and everything with some of the damage block, but as well as having that healing just coming in. I believe he was only on Rocket this round, so getting this much healing within that little bit of time is huge. But I think they were on all Invisible Woman at one point as well. But huge numbers across the board, and it just shows how well these players know these characters.
Yeah, and one final thing I want to talk about and touch on before we go to a Be Back Soon screen. Look at Seraphim, Smiley Face, AidenTube, and Striker's assists, and Shui as well. 48 assists coming out from Striker, highest on the K12 PA squad. 54 assists for Seraphim, as those healers doing what they need to do. It is just so impressive to see how all of our players do play their role just so masterfully. But with that being said, I believe we will be back in just a few minutes, as we definitely have a few players taking a very, very quick break. Dustin and myself going to do the exact same thing. We'll be back with game 3 though, and hopefully, again, biased here, want to see a game number 5. Could be our last one. We will just have to see how it does shake out. But with that being said, again, we'll be back with game number 3.
Stay tuned. All right, and we are officially back with round 3, heading to T'Challa in the domination round. We are going to have the a couple bans already in place with some locks: Groot, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and the Star Lord getting banned. With the locks in place, we're going to have Mr. Fantastic again, Luna Snow again. Jeff actually is locked this time, as well as the Thing, so we're going to see that one as well. I'm curious if we have a locked Jeff, who's going to bring that out. Gonna assume maybe Shui, since he's the only one not hovering over a character, but could be totally wrong on that. We are going to see the Wolverine ban still coming out from the CAVA side, knowing that K12 PEA likes having the Wolverine on their side. And then we're just waiting on K12 PEA for this last ban to officially start this matchup. We are going to see a sub, though, coming in for CAVA. We've seen them in multiple matchups. And before I continue that, we are going to have the Invisible Woman ban coming out. So definitely some key healers throughout all 3 of these matchups being banned. But obviously there's plenty to pick from at the moment. But with that substitution coming in, it's going to be Pibs. We've seen them on this Hulk several times. Him and Pico are definitely 2 tanks that you have to watch out for to continue this push. But Shamrock's coming in strong on this Doctor Strange, as they have been the past several times. Serpent coming back in on this Venom. So I'm curious to see how they're going to continue to do on that. But we're also going to see the Adam Warlock. And I believe, actually, I don't know if it was the same player, but I have seen Adam Warlock come out from K12 PEA before, doing some really good stuff. And honestly, with his more recent buffs, he's actually not a bad strategist at all. Can kind of coincide as that DPS character, can do a lot of damage in the process. And now with he actually has movement, he can fly. So the fact that he can get out of certain situations and everything can actually make for a really interesting matchup.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, and just looking at the team lineups here, a lot of people that we're seeing on their comfort picks is what I'm going to call them here. Sergeant Squirt on the Psylocke, Jarson, of course, on the Mr. Fantastic, Pico on the Magneto, Pibs on the Hulk, who has Zenotachi, pulls out the Winter Soldier quite often, Shui on the Jeff. Eyes on Shui on this one, as they did use one of their locks on the Jeff pick here. But we are into this one again. Domination mission area has just unlocked. This is game number 3. CAVA is up 2-0. If they win this one, they are our series winners. K12 PEA needs to win it to push us to a game 4 and extend the series. But getting pushed back right now is K12 PEA, as CAVA does have control of the point. They are already at 10%. Pico de Gio able to take down Zenotachi. I believe that is the first elimination here in this one, and it's going to convert actually into 3 players down for K12 PEA. Getting pushed back very far are this Wolves team. Sorry, is this Wolves team. Sergeant Squirt already with their ultimate online, Seraphim as well. Shui the only player, as Striker does also get theirs for K12 PEA, but this the Psylocke ult from Sergeant Sergeant Squirt coming out very quickly, able to get one, but does drop Zenotachi, able to hit the shot there. Big shot coming out of Zenotachi here. Jarson has their ult. They're probably going to pop it right away. There it goes, dropping the damage down. Once again, K12 PEA has been pushed back so far from the domination point. CAVA at 50% right now. K12 PEA does have 4 ultimates online. They need to use these and convert it into a big team fight win here.
Yeah, and we saw that Serpent was trying to get on point with the Venom. Shui is going to go off the side of the map to be able to get the 2 down. Is going to be able to get Sergeant Squirt as well as Seraphim, so one of their healers, and a little smiley face going down as well. So that is their main healing line for CAVA. Currently, Pivologist shrinking back down to Bruce Banner. Unfortunately, going to have to be really careful, as being kind of the squishy character now. Pico having to back up, and K12 PEA is going to start the climb, but with CAVA at 78%, going to have to hold point.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough hold here for K12 PEA. Good thing that they use those ults and did get the team fight win. At least stop the pressure from CAVA, and they are getting percentage now in their favor on this domination point. However, CAVA, a strong 6, waited for their teammates. Now we have a huge team fight going on. 3 ults online for K12 PEA, 2 for CAVA. Jarson, as always, popping there to start it off. Trades back and forth from team. 2 down for K12 PEA, 1 down for CAVA. Jarson also able to kind of solo out Striker there with one of their teammates, able to take them down. Here's the thing though, on this Adam Warlock, able to res, I believe that is 3 players total for this Wolves team. Still climbing in the percentage is K12 PEA. They are already at 53%. If you were thinking CAVA had this one in the bag, that is incorrect, as we do see Pico with a huge ultimate from Magneto, dropping that right onto, I believe that was Striker there. Again, trades just back and forth, 3 players down for each team. Sergeant Fort, however, pulling out the Psylocke ult toward the end of this team fight, is able to get 2. That will probably equal CAVA getting the point back into their favor. However, K12 PEA able to get back here. Jeff, Shui on the Jeff, able to do what they need to do to stay alive and actually just stop CAVA from capping that point, as we see K12 PEA cross the 90-point threshold. Senotachi able to get a huge pick onto Jarson there as well, but Sergeant Squirt will answer back. This is just very, very back and forth. This is a big ultimate coming out of little smiley face. This is CAVA's last opportunity here.
Yeah, K12 PA holding on very, very strong to this. In the event that they lose it, I mean, CAVA could be looking to really get this percentage up and everything. CAVA going to have to remain on point if they don't want that to happen with that overtime piece going down. Serpent doing a really good job taking up space and kind of being that annoying player. Sergeant Squirt coming out with a big ult there, though. Is going to get Zenitachi, and here's the thing, Shui though coming in with their ult, going to try to find somebody, is going to be able to find at least one of the healers, but is going to get taken down very quickly. With Pibbs online with the Hulk ult, we also have Adam Warlock unfortunately going to go down. Could have been a huge ult there, or it was able to do ult there to be able to keep most of his team online. CAVA is going to win this fight, and they're going to start this climb. K12 PA going to need to get back on point very quickly if they want to stop this.
With CAVA bringing this percentage up, K12 PA has one final chance. This team fight will end it all. Unfortunately for them, they have to touch point here, but Serpent will get stunned up, will make it just barely. We are 99 and 99%. CAVA with the point though has the advantage at this this moment in time here. This team fight decides it all for this current round. Huge. Whoever goes more clutch will win this one. 6v6 team fight overtime is dropping here. K12 PA able to cap the point to half though, with 2 players dropping somehow, some way. Jarson with the ult though will put down good damage and help Sergeant Squirt get the triple. That will be a basically full team wipe for K12 PEA by CAVA, and because of that, they will win that one. Very, very clutch out of Jarson and Sergeant Squirt there to secure that round for CAVA. But somehow, once again, K12 PEA just so gritty on the point. They were never a full team of 6 there toward the end, except for that very, very last team fight. But able to hold out long enough to get to that final team fight. It's just crazy to see how scrappy this K12 PEA team is. Able to survive as a team of 4 and just not get team wipes every single time is a testament to how good these players are.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that just kind of gave CAVA just a little bit of an edge to be able to finish out that fight was both of those strategist ults. Little smiley face coming online with the Luna ult, then Gambit, Seraphim coming out with their ult to be able to cap that. Shamrocks, though, we do see now coming off of the tank, coming onto the Loki, which can definitely provide a little bit more of that healing and a little bit more of a threat to deal with in terms of the K12 PEA side. So I hope, we'll see how it works out. If it works out in their favor. Working on their way, they're going to start with the Jeff ult immediately. Not going to find anything, but Sergeant Squirt capitalizing on that with their ult immediately is going to get the Jeff, get Shui down, and is going to continue to be able to do poke damage because their healers are providing that much. CAVA, I believe, may take. Well, I spoke too soon. We had a couple ults coming in online, even though Shamrocks is down. Pico trying to get the Gambit, not going to be able to find them.
Oh my goodness. K12 PEA somehow able to get onto point and stop CAVA from capping it. There has been 0% for either team on this one. And K12 PEA is going to come out on top at the end of it and make sure that CAVA was not able to cap that point. Again, still no percentage on the domination point from either team. K12 PEA, again, I'm a broken record sometimes, but just so gritty on the point. With all of that, no definitive team fight win has come out from either team thus far. These teams are so evenly matched. It is absolutely wild to see here, as Pico will get Xenotachi. However, Serpent trading right back onto Little Smiley Face. Big ultimate coming out from Seraphim on that Gambit, able to keep CAVA as healthy as possible for the moment. Here's the thing, in the backline though, keeping these CAVA players off the point, K12 PEA desperately trying to get some capture progress to their side of things. But, I mean, Dustin, this has been just crazy, as K12 PEA almost able to cap the point, but make that 2 CAVA players stopping it at this current moment in time. I mean, it's just so back and forth.
Yeah, this is truly insane. We're gonna see Shui actually able to cap or to get Pico off. Somehow was able to survive with the help of their teammates. Serpent is going to do some damage in the back and find 2. Striker being able to get Pibs down too, and I think K12 PEA is going to be able to take a breather for a moment as they continue getting the percentage on this point.
Coming through.
First big team fight win of this second round of game number 3 goes in K12 PEA's favor. They are stacking that percentage now up to 30 already. CAVA coming out of spawn. It is going to be a full 6v6 here. Advantage to CAVA right now with 2, almost 3 ults online. And without those ults, we will see Pibs take down Serpent. So this is huge here for CAVA, as Sergeant Squirt will also get Shamrock. Pico de Geo getting, here's the thing, Xenotachi does trade and get 1, but a very staggered team wipe here coming out of CAVA onto the Wolves will cap and secure the point for them. K12 PEA now on the back foot, having to retreat and regroup here. Again, going into this next team fight, CAVA will have the ultimate advantage. So K12 PEA gonna need to play around the CAVA ult and do what they can to stack their own percentages up, as now much more even. 4 for CAVA, 3 for K12 PEA. Huge ults coming out from both sides will end up almost in an equal trade, but we will see 3 drop, make that 4 for K12 PEA. CAVA now on the attack, does have the momentum in their favor here.
And actually, Shui did a really good maneuver there on the Jeff, trying to protect their teammates and everything, trying to get them swallowed up between the Pico Doctor Strange ult as well as the ultimate coming in from the Thor. Just unfortunately not quite able to get away with it 100%, as CAVA was still able to push in. Sergeant Squirt popping their ult, not going to find much. Serpent now on the point is going to pop ult. Jarson is currently down. Little Smiley Face, though, with their ult online, is going to continue helping their team. But with both ults for Gambit coming online, Loki taking the form of Gambit to be able to get that extra healing ult to push in. Xenotachi currently having their ultimate online for K12 PEA, and K12 PEA is going to push out CAVA
Keep going.
and start making this climb again, as CAVA is currently at 80%, only needs the 20 left.
That was actually wild to see happen. K12 PEA with basically no ults outside of the healers, able to force CAVA almost all the way off the point. And so the percentage now in favor and going toward the K12 PEA team. Huge ultimate by Shui on this Jeff. Will catch two. Little smiley face, last player up at the this moment in time for CAVA, getting pushed out, soloed out, half health, is gonna be able to regroup with their team. Not enough damage coming down from K12 PEA to get that full team wipe, but they are at 91%. They are going to get to 99 by the time this next team fight does begin to happen. But starting off with a pick is Lil Smiley Face onto Shamrock. Here's the thing though, able to answer back right away onto Pico de Gio. Big ult coming out from Pibbs on the Thor. Is able to take down Xenotachi as well. Jarson on this Deadpool, just doing what they can to take down as many K12 PA players as possible. But huge plays coming out from Striker and Shui on the healers. 4 players down for CAVA. Little smiley face, buying time for their teammates, popping their ult. They're going to be able to stay alive on this point for quite a while. With that, it does time out. They will end up dropping at the end of it, but a huge double from Pico de Gio. Oh my goodness. One player still on point here for CAVA. Will step off. K12 PA so close to capping this one. 3 now on the point here for CAVA. As we do see Sergeant Squirt on this Psylocke, able to get a triple. It's going to be a quad here in a sec. Oh my
goodness. They have no heals, unfortunately. CAVA is going to take it back.
Control lost.
Yeah, there was the strategist from I can't even get my words out, from K12 PEA. Unfortunately went down in the process. Here's the thing, and Serpent doing a really good job at being able to hold point, but CAVA being able to get those strategists out of the way, it really secured them that fight. And now K12 PEA going to have to take this back. Shui trying to see if they can get one. They are going to get one of the strategists off and be able to stay alive, which is going to be huge. Jarson is going to go down as well. Xenotachi popping the ult, is going to find one.
Nice shot.
Is going to find 2 with the thing. Is going to find 3. And it's huge with the 4th. K12 PEA taking this back over, and it's going to take this round. What a back and forth from the very start of this matchup.
Oh my goodness. This has been absolutely insane here. Both domination rounds going to both teams at 99%. CAVA able to take the first round. K12 PEA taking that second round. We are going to a third round in domination. Oh my goodness, as a reminder, K12 PEA with their backs fully against the wall. CAVA on match point. If CAVA does win this one, they are series winners. K12 PEA, as I mentioned, backs against the wall, have to win this one to send us to a game number 4. But so clutch there was K12 PEA. Shui taking Little Smiley Face with that Jeff ultimate, sending them off the map, I think was the one of those nails in the coffins, right? That made sure they took out a healer from the CAVA squad, and the rest of the team able to close it out. I mean, Xenotachi on that Winter Soldier pairing was with Here's the Thing, able to just, I believe that was a quad for Xenotachi and 1 for Here's the Thing. So I mean, it was just, that was so amazing to watch. But we are into this third round here. And here we go. Mission area is about to unlock. We are in this first team fight. Serpent starting us out. And Xenotachi as well. 3 down already for for CAVA. Make that 4, as only 1 player for K12 PA did drop. My goodness, already capping the point very quickly here is K12 PEA. And Serpent with their ultimate already, I would actually low-key love to see them pop this right away as soon as they see some of these players. And a cheeky little spot here as well is Serpent. But man, K12 PEA coming out on fire to start this round number 3 of this domination game. I'm also patiently waiting to see what Sergeant Squirt does with this ultimate. Will pop it, able to take down Shui as well. What a huge start to this fight. Jarson able to take down Zenotachi. This is going to be a very tough team fight for K12 PA to win.
Oh, and Pico able to get that Magneto ult and save it for Shamrocks, who's on the Cloak and Dagger, is going to get them down. K12 PEA currently just down to Serpent and Shui, I think, at the moment, and Zenitachi coming back out. So CAVA able to quickly take back over with just the use of a few ults. But currently has 3 ults online, not far from the Shui's ult as well.
Feeling better already.
A little bit of a misplay here comes out of Serpent dying by themselves without their teammates there. You always want to fight as a team of 6 in Marvel Rivals to the best of your ability. So it's going to be a staggered full 6 team fight from K12 PEA. Shout out to the other 5 players though for holding on as they have a lot going on in the elimination feed here as 2 players do drop. It looks like Shui was able to get a double with that ultimate. Serpent now answering back for their misplay there, able to take down 1 player as well. K12 PEA able to cap the point back right away. Back and forth we go here, Dustin.
Yeah, and it's so nuts. Both teams have not let off of that gas battle since the beginning of round 2. But I mean, obviously they've been on it this entire time. Each team obviously really wants this, just to be able to show who's going to come out on top, you know, between the fall season and even in this season and everything. Sergeant Squirt going to start us off with the Psylocke ult, is going to get the 1 down. Seraphim able to get Zenitachi down. Currently down to Serpent though, and Shui, or actually Shui's coming back, so that, I apologize, that's a team wipe from CAVA onto this K12 PEA team, and CAVA back up on the percentage.
Not taking much
Their
damage.
team's capture progress has passed
Yeah, back up on the
halfway point.
percentage is CAVA. K12 PEA with an ultimate advantage going into this next team fight. They need to win this one to bring it back into their favor. Otherwise, CAVA will get really close to that 99% percentage, I think, if they do win this team fight. Starting this one off, though, is Striker taking down Seraphim. Pibs able to get the revive, though. So still 6v6 at the moment. Again, 3 ults online here for the K12 PEA team. Does not matter, though, as we see both Shui and Zenotachi drop. Jarson and I believe Little Smiley Face able to get those 2. The ultimate coming out from Pico de Gio will not find anything, actually, but the ultimate from Pibs with that damage amplification will be huge here for CAVA. K12 PEA with staggered spawns coming in on this one have a difficult team fight win ahead of them. Sergeant Squirt will take down, here's the thing, and Shui with their ultimate not able to grab any of the CAVA players, still taking K12 PA players down is CAVA. Oh my goodness, 4 players down, overtime here. CAVA is at 99%. Here's the thing, just trying to stay alive, does drop, and unfortunately that will be the final nail in the coffin there for K12 PA. CAVA able to win this game and win the series here in a 3-0 fashion. However, you know, even though it's a 3-0, I mean, those games were so close. On paper, it looks like a blowout, but it absolutely was not. K12 PEA so close to winning so many of these rounds. But my goodness gracious, how incredible was that that series, Dustin?
It was nuts. Like, just the pure back and forth competitive spirit from each of these teams. Like I said, they both really wanted it. As you already mentioned, on paper it does look like a blowout, but this was far from it, starting out from the get-go and everything, and especially heading into round two. Round 2 really took a big switch for K12 PA, almost nearly coming back by literally less than 1% from that overtime and everything. And then even in this one, very, very close back and forth. CAVA coming out that first round. I believe they were both at that 90, around that 99 percentile. Just having some of those ults online. We obviously noticed Pibbs switching from the Hulk over to the Rocket Raccoon this particular round, going that triple strategist route as K12 PEA was trying to do initially. And that obviously made, I think, a little bit of a difference just having the three ults online and everything too for those strategists, keeping their teams healed. Obviously, we're seeing some of the healing 32,000, 38,000, 36,000 from Shui over here. 34,000 from Striker when they were on healing. I mean, just across the board, just a lot of really good stuff. These teams should be very proud of how they played, regardless of the outcome, and be prepping for this this round robin as they go into their next matchup for next week. Because this particular match, even though this goes to CAVA, obviously it doesn't crown our championship this week. That's gonna be a few weeks, so we'll have to see how CAVA continues to do throughout the next few weeks, as well as K12 PEA coming into their next matchups. But kudos to both of these teams. Really fun matchup to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Looking at eliminations for CAVA, 54 for Sergeant Squirt, 51 for Jarson. No one quite on K12 PA quite close to that number there. The top is 36 actually from Shui, but regardless, able to keep it so close, I think is a huge thing to call out and a great thing to see at a K12 PEA, regardless of maybe not seeing so many individual eliminations at the end of the day. Able to keep it close. If they can get a little bit more, man, they are a team to be very scared of, right? Well, I think you can bring us the cameras here, Dustin, as we will look at closing this one out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to be a broken record on this one, but what an incredible series that we did just witness between the CAVA Bears and K12 PEA Wolves. Absolutely insane. As Dustin mentioned, shout out to all the players that we saw here today. Everyone play out of their minds. I'm going to say it one more time, but looks like a blowout on paper was a 3-0, but absolutely was not. K12 PA fought it so close. Just a couple more things going in their favor, and some of these games definitely go to them. So what a series. Cannot wait to see how the rest of playoffs does end up shaking out. It's going to be a fun one. Cannot wait. With that being said, we'll see you all tomorrow night for Rocket League, Thursday for Fortnite, and next week for playoffs week number 2. As always, shout out to all of our players in the K12 Esports League. Whether you qualified for playoffs, did not, whether you play Marvel Rivals or you play one of the other 5 titles, we appreciate you more than you know. Shout out to your parents, learning coaches, and guardians for allowing you to participate with us and supporting you in this esports endeavor. And as always, finally, shout out to your coaches. Without them, we could not do this. So make sure they know how much you appreciate them as well. With that being said, Dustin, I'm done for today. Go ahead and close this out officially.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned already, join us back on stream tomorrow for that. Next week, we're hoping to be able to have Loyola University come back for the Twitch stream, and everything, cross our fingers, working out. We'll actually be on YouTube Live, being able to cover both matchups, hopefully, for playoffs week 2, which would be super exciting. So hopefully we'll be able to check that out. But all of our recordings and everything of these matchups are going to be uploaded to the YouTube page as well, in case you missed any of the action initially. But with that being said, we appreciate you all. We're Broken Records. We hope you have a great rest of your day. We hope you join us back tomorrow, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.